Welcome, Taurus, to my temple, to the Temple of Tarot, Astrology, and Yoga. My name is Ava. I'm going to be your oracle, your host, for a reading, an Astro Tarot reading that's meant for you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Taurus. It just so happens my moon sign is Taurus. So I hope that this will be relevant to me as well. And if you're new to the channel, I've been on YouTube for maybe 9 years, something like that. And I've never really had a lot of views or subscribers, because I suppose my tactic in trying to unveil hidden truths, hidden knowledge, is to combine together astrology and the tarot. So in order to do so, I have to keep things very simple, because they're both extremely complex, or their complexity is almost infinite, you know. So I follow the transits of Mars and Venus exclusively for the astrology portion of this reading, and then that will be followed by a very simple 4-card spread involving only 4 positions, so that we can dive more deeply into the meanings of the symbols on the cards. So I believe that this will provide a wonderful teaching tool for you if you're learning to read for yourself. And I always recommend that you do, because we can't constantly be running to others to clear or clarify for us what we should do and what we're doing wrong or right, or how we should behave in certain situations. So that's what this is all about. At the end, I'll give you a yoga pose, because I'm a yoga teacher all my life. I'm 73. I started practicing and then teaching yoga in my early 20s, and have been teaching ever since. So I provide a yoga pose at the end that will help you to deal with the energies that are expressed through the celestial energies as well as the tarot energies. All right. So let's begin, Taurus. This month, Venus is transiting the sign of Scorpio. And that's your opposite sign. So it's your 7th house of relationships. Venus is the planet that symbolizes love, harmony, goodness, sweetness. It's the Cupid planet, also bringing good fortune financially. In your house of relationships, the 7th house. So it's almost self-evident, the meaning of this transit. It's bringing love into your most significant relationships, deepening your affections, perhaps bringing your relationship to a new level of commitment, responsibility, or just passion. Venus also represents money, good fortune, so your relationship either singular or plural, may bring you good fortune financially. Mars, on the other hand, Mars is the planet, it's the male energy, Venus being the female energy, yin, yang, represents drive, ambition, bold action, even aggressive action. In the 8th house, the 8th house is also a house of partnerships. So we have double emphasis on partnerships, but this partnership need not be romantic. It could be business or otherwise. And with Mars here, it just puts a huge dose of ambition, drive, and action towards these partnerships. Now, so it's a double emphasis. It's very sexual, because Mars is, of course, sexual. But making perhaps you much more impulsive, driven by deeper needs. And the 8th house is not only about partnerships, but it's also described as concerning death. And very much it could very well be that you have a physical death around you somewhere, or that impacts you in some way, often leading to inheritance or the consequences of that relationship. Or it could mean death symbolically, death of some major facet of your life, an episode or an ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Another word that also characterizes the 8th house, which is a very powerful house, also ruled by Scorpio. So we have Venus in Scorpio in the 7th, yet you see we have a house ruled by Scorpio with Mars in it. So scorpionic energy is intense for you this month. Scorpio being a sign of what is transformative. Events, emotions, relationships that transform you, change you in some way, radically moving you towards, in the case of romantic relationships, towards the acceptance of that relationship as having more meaning and significance to you, and then acting on that. Shared resources is also what the 8th house is about. And remember, Venus is in your house of relationships, and Venus does mean money, shared resources, resources that come from your partnership, from your relationships. So all of this is a background, energetic background to the upcoming tarot forecast, which is much more of a sort of specific comment from Spirit, from your guardian angels, concerning the goings-on in the month of November. So, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, as we all say. But I mean it, because many of you know who have been following me for a long time, that I have just undergone an enormous transformation myself, moving here to the big island of Hawaii in the, I was escaping a hurricane, the devastations of a hurricane in Florida. And I chose, interestingly enough, a very dangerous island to live on because it's volcanic. I just visited the volcano for the first time about a week ago, and it's one of the wonders of the world. And so the entire island is really quite dangerous because that lava can flow anywhere, but it most likely will, if it explodes, will flow in this direction where I've chosen to live. So there must be something in me that likes danger. So in any event, I'm very happy, well settled in my new off-grid Eden. It's a place from which I have the silence and the magic of nature around me to be able to help you to find peace, to find harmony in your own relationships, in your own life circumstances. So I provide private, personal readings, and I do it in a way that you can remain very much anonymous if you choose, just giving me a question about your situation that can help me anchor the reading. And then from there, I will create an audio file of the reading and send it to you, attached to your email, so that you have a permanent record of it. But if you want to talk to me about it, I'm trying to arrange with another company to do that more professionally, I suppose. But in the meantime, we can just exchange phone numbers and come up with a time. I live in a very rare time zone here out in the middle of the ocean. But we can arrange for a mutually convenient time if you'd like to talk about the reading that I've sent you. That can also be arranged. Depends on how private you want to be. And I honor very much your privacy, but I tell the truth. So I want to warn you right away that if you're not ready to hear the truth, then choose someone else. Because when I see something in the reading that might be uncomfortable to speak about, well, certainly I don't want to be in any way unkind. But I feel obligated to warn you about the consequences of various actions or the motivations of people around you that may not be as perceived. So all of that as a prelude to a reading from me. There's a link below. You can go to my website, which is grandcentralhealing.com. And in the shop, I offer you various kinds of readings, relationship readings, life path readings, if you're not sure where you're going in life, career readings, business readings, real estate. Many people are curious about whether they'll be able to sell their house. Should they sell their house? Should they buy a house? The tarot does do well with issues like that. Predictions about death, please, I don't want to do that because of the power of suggestion. I don't want to deal with things like that, just to let you know. But everything else is on the table. So thank you very much for considering a reading with me, and for your viewership and your kind messages. They uplift my spirit. And I don't have a lot of friends here because I've just moved here. So every communication feels like a message from a friend. So thank you very much for that. And I will end with that. And let's move now into your tarot forecast for November. Namaste. So welcome to your forecast. This is a tarot forecast involving only 4 positions. As I mentioned before, Taurus, I like it simple so that I can convey to you the meaning of the cards, the symbols on the cards. That's what's most fascinating about the tarot, are its multitude of symbols. I use the Waite Rider deck. Just because of that, it provides rich symbolism, and the symbols are universal, like dream symbols are universal. They speak a language that most human beings can connect to, such as a house representing security and comfort, like that. And that's why this deck is so profound to me. Let's reverse a couple of these cards, and then we're ready to begin your forecast. Here we go. With the left hand, we create 3 separate piles, and then we reassemble them, and we're ready for your reading, Taurus. Here we go. Well, look at that. So I want to shuffle just a little more because it just feels right. So, all right, here we go. We make 3 piles. Then let's reassemble and start your forecast. I'm so excited because I guess I have Moon in Taurus, and these readings are often relevant to me. So here we go. Woo! Yay! The blessed and beautiful star, one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. It's a major arcana card, and it's about hope and faith. It's about the mixing of material reality, your material reality, with your spiritual longings. You see how she's pouring water on the land and into the water. This symbolizes this union of matter and spirit. She's naked. She's totally comfortable with herself. She's got nothing to hide. She's unpretentious, innocent. She believes in herself and in the magic, alchemy of her spiritual longings manifesting. Look at the stars arrayed above her. Stars come out at night. But here, they're out in the daylight. They've turned night to day. Stars guide us through the darkness into the light. They represent inner guidance, intuitive guidance. They represent heaven guiding you on your journey. With faith and hope, you mix your spiritual, emotional longing and make it manifest. Now that's a beautiful way to spend October. Well, wow, 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 and more wow. So we have two potent cards. And it's very interesting that we should have Venus and Mars in such potent houses of relationship, partnership, the 8th, death, sex, passion, death, transformation, change. We have death as our challenge. I prefer to think of this as the butterfly card. It sort of takes the feeling of seriousness, lessens the feeling of seriousness, because it conveys the same thing. A caterpillar melting down into a pool of organic substance and reconstructing itself into the most beautiful creature on earth, where no cell that was is anymore. It's absolute transformation. And Mars in the 8th is asking for absolute transformation in regards to your relationships, a significant relationship, or with anything that was, to create something absolutely new and beautiful. That's your challenge this month. Wow, Taurus, death is a challenge. Sometimes, of course, it can be literal, that there's a death around you that affects you, that causes transformation of your circumstance, of your very soul needs, changing you, guiding you towards a fulfillment of a dream. The currents in the month of October for you, Taurus, are profound and will, move you, shake you, disturb you, disturb your equilibrium, so that you can create this deep alchemical transformative experience. Wow, all right. What in the world could be in the position of the unexpected? All of this seems, you see, death always brings sort of a suddenness, being able to adapt to something sudden and profound change that occurs without anticipation. But you have to anchor yourself into a deep certainty and faith in the good outcome. All right. An unexpected 5 of Wands. Disagreement. Mars in the 8th. Disagreement about what? Well, opinions, different opinions. The unexpected divergence of opinions, divergence of inspirations, of directions, people not being able to come together, not being able to unify into a group, to work together. Disagreements. None of these wands actually hurt anybody. They're just touching each other. In other words, it represents coming across a block. You're blocked. Other people blocking your ideas, blocking your motivation, blocking your idea, blocking your action. So disagreement, as a result of this profound, transformative event or relationship or circumstance. All right. So how is this either resolved, or what is the outcome of all this? Such an interesting outcome, because we have a personage, the King of Swords. He is a king of ideas, thoughts. He's the intellectual king, detached. He measures through logic and reason the truth or falsehood of something. He's an intellectual leader. he may be involved in helping to resolve conflict, which is indicated here, because he comes right after it. So it might be that you need professional help from someone who is detached from the situation, who can give intellectual guidance, help to resolve this conflict with high professional intellectual integrity. Either you must seek his help, or he offers his help, or there is help in this regard, be that through a person or an institution, because it can sometimes represent government. Remember, the 8th house is about taxes. So seeking professional help in regard to matters of state. But in any event, it's about you being very matter of fact in matters of legal issues or professional guidance. Being professionally guided is what is necessary, because we've got such profound things going on. Dramatic change, demanding deep faith in yourself, being completely open, honest with who you are and what you want to do, and then surrendering what no longer serves you and allowing this about-face change to happen, regardless of the conflict of opinions or ideas that might ensue. Someone with intellectual powers comes in to save the day. Or this is you having to become more rational and matter of fact in some regard. So it's a mix of profound spiritual awakening and the development of intellectual discernment as well. So that is your reading for November 2025. I hope that you enjoyed that. And for those who are interested in learning a little yoga, I'm going to give you a pose that I feel would help release some of this pressure, this spiritual, emotional pressure. So wait for that. And thank you very much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate you being here. And if you need a personal and private reading, there's a link below. Namaste. Welcome, Taurus, to your yoga pose called Thread the Needle. This is a pose designed to relieve stiffness and tension around the shoulders, neck, and the entire back when in twist. We begin in table form, back flat, wrists underneath the shoulder sockets, knees underneath the hip sockets. Face down. Extend one arm down. I begin with my right. Then we take the arm and we weave it through the arm and leg opening, twisting at the waist and bringing your body down, balancing on your shoulder and putting your ear on the ground. The other arm is bent at a right angle, pressing into the arm. We twist the back, resting on our shoulder. Breathe through the nose. Hold. Release the lower back. Let it go. Feel the twist in your back, in your spine. Feel the shoulder, pressing into the shoulder. Breathe slow and deep. Hold. Pressing into the supporting arm, we lift up and we replace the arm underneath the shoulder. We arch the back, opening up the vertebra, dropping the head down. Continue to breathe through the nose and feel the release in the back, in the lower back, in the shoulders. Come back to table form and then lift the other arm. In this case, this is my left arm. Pull out through the arm. Then weave the arm through the other leg and arm opening. Keep the supporting arm bent at a right angle. Lower yourself on the shoulder and on your ear. Breathe slow and deep. Hold and feel the effect in the lower back, through the spine, and in your shoulders. Hold and breathe. Inhale, lift up. Go back to table form. Take several deep breaths. Arch your back. Release the tension. Bring your right knee and left knee forward. Pull your arms back. Lower your head down on your forehead or the crown of your head into child's pose. Hold and let go of your back, shoulders, hips. Release it now.